Hey, how y'all doing? I'm just about to dive right in, man. Now I know a lot of people already know about the Superman movie. I'm just gonna dive right in, and we had a lot of Snyderverse, fans, and a lot of Superman, James Gunn fans. Now, what I would like to say is, we know the Snyderverse has some bangers. Okay, cool. Now we know James Gunn, the direction that he is going in, he made a banger as well. And it's a lot of back and forth. Like, you have some people say, well, we want the Snyderverse to be restored. Cool, I get all that. But from what I have seen, James Gunn is only focusing, he was focusing on his biggest superstars. James Gunn is focusing on Superman. Snyderverse was trying to make, Superman and team ups only, kind of like they wanted him to be in the Justice League, kind of like the Avengers, but they wanted him to be a part of the Justice League. And James Gunn have built Superman his own team to go up against, Lex Luthor and all the other bad guys. I haven't seen the movie yet. I wanted to save it, everything. I didn't really want to go view it or anything. I want to wait to get the full effect of the movie to wait and see it. But from all the, the clips and all the superheroes with Hawk Girl and, Mr. Terrific, Superman, of course. Then you got Crypto. This is a real awesome movie that a lot of people is failing to appreciate. I am so happy that we finally got somebody to focus on the biggest superstars, not just focus on team ups, like, trying to put Batman, Wonder Woman, only Justice League stories, and then branch out, with superhero movies, skip some. Then you had all the bad press against, Aquaman, was it Amber Hearts or whatever. Then you had the Flash, Aries Miller, all the drama behind all that. And that's why they had to reboot. And that's why I give James Gunn 2 thumbs up, man. I give a big shout out. I give him 5 stars across the map for focusing on his biggest superstars. What most people was asking Snyder to do. See, we ain't have no Man of Steel since 2013. His focus, his vision wasn't really on Superman. It was on the entire team. He didn't put his biggest superstars, above all of, other characters, which is, I'm not saying not to make other characters stand alone like Blue Beetle, or Wonder Woman, Aquaman. They didn't even make a Cyborg or a Flash movie. I'm not saying not to do that. That's clearly not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is focus on your biggest superstars first. Batman, Superman. Then you worry about Wonder Woman. Then you worry about the Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, the Justice League, bring back a Black Adam or something later on down the line, reboot that. Let's get this show on the road. And a lot of people didn't really see the vision until they seen the actual movie come out. Now you're gonna have fans that like it, you're gonna have other fans that don't like it. They want the Snyderverse back because that's who they grew up to like and love. We get all that, but as diehard fans, as fans of DC, the DCEU, the DC universe, as fans of that nature, we have to understand, I'm happy to even be getting a Superman movie because Snyderverse, he did not saying he didn't, once again, I'm not saying he didn't make bangers. Snyderverse, we get it. Snyder made bangers. We're not saying that he didn't. But what I'm saying is he did not focus on Superman. Not as much as he should have. He wanted to team him up with other characters that I didn't see the need to really do that. And it was kind of confusing for me because I was like, everybody keeps begging you for a Superman movie and you're going in a completely opposite direction. You're focusing on a new, big budget, Aquaman. You're focusing on another Wonder Woman, what it was like 1984 or whatever, some retro style with Cheetah Girl or whoever. Movie was nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that movie. So between those 2 movies, you couldn't squeeze another Man of Steel in there. Nowhere, especially in between Flash. Now we know they were going through other management. Warner, was it Discovery, Warner, or AT&T, something like that. It was just a lot of shifting and a lot of, retooling going behind the scenes. Like different, companies was trying to merge and figure out the direction they wanted to go with WB and DC Universe. And we get it. But that was a really tough time. We get that. But at the same time, I still never really fully got answers to why he didn't make another Man of Steel 2. He never really came out and said, yo, this is the direction I'm trying to go in. But being that we're under new management, they're not allowing me to do that. I didn't get that from Snyder. Soon as James Gunn comes, soon as James Gunn shows up, he drops a Superman movie. And this is why I'm sending him a big shout out. Thank you, James Gunn, for putting your biggest superstars first. And this ain't nobody talking about I'm being a Shield, because we know that's coming. Oh, you just been a Shield. You're a James Gunn. You're Guardian of the Galaxy James Gunn, or a Peacemaker fan and Marvel fan and da 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 da. We know that. We know that's coming. But I'm just trying to make a point. So what if I am a huge James Gunn fan? So what if I am? I like his work. It's very entertaining, full of action-packed, funny, humor. It's just the vision that he has is more comic booky. It's not so dark. It's more he's trying to stick to source material. Once again, something that Snyder didn't do. A lot of people want to debunk that. Oh no, you had to give Snyder more time. Let's jump back into the universe because you seen what he did with the second Justice League. We did. And that's why I say I didn't say that once again. I never said that Snyder didn't make any bangers. Snyderverse, he made bangers. Justice League reboot, he did good. And Snyder, he did do good. He did do good on the Snyderverse, universe with Justice League 2. So he did do good on that one. And a lot of people can appreciate that. But the one thing that we did not appreciate all of these years since 2013, we've been stressing out, yo, what's up with a Man of Steel 2? We wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman, but James Gunn was like, no, we need a younger one. We have a different vision for him. We're going to keep him the source material in comic books. We're going to rip things right out of the comic book for this in particular character. Not saying they can't bring him back like Jason Momoa as Lobo, I want to say. And that's going to be a different story. And they were actually talking about bringing Henry Cavill back as another character as well. But we know Jason Momoa wants to come back as Lobo or whatever. And he actually kind of fits that character as well. And I was like, that's crazy that we actually have a man that looks kind of like fits that character, that's awesome as well. Kind of like what Marvel is doing over there with Doomsday, or I'm assuming it's going to be called Doomsday. And now they're talking about they're going to do Galactus. And I'm hearing what is the other character name that was just in the Thunderbolts? They're going to put him in there, the superhero. And that is crazy, man, that we're finally getting the things that we want. And it took so long as well. And so it's just like, finally, we're getting back to source material. We're getting back to the stories that we've been wanting and craving for and asking for. And it's about time, It's about time that we finally can get the things that we have been asking for, because Snyderverse, it's crazy that we have been asking for a Man of Steel since 2013, 2014, whatever. Let's say between 2013 and 15, we would expect it to hear something that we're going to get a part 2, but it never happened. And we have so many Snyderverse fans out here that never really pushed the mark, like they did, but then they didn't, because they were coming out with so many other versions. They was coming out with the team ups with the Batman versus Superman. Then they had Wonder Woman in there. Then they had the Justice League. See, he was teaming him up and want to make all these verses and stuff, and that's cool. But you should have said that for another universe, and you still should have focused on Superman. Superman should have still been your biggest concern. Batman, biggest concern. Now you can bring Superman universe, make it bigger, make spinoffs with his characters. Make maybe even a Mr. Terrific TV show or a Hawk Girl TV show series on HBO Max or something like that, or on Netflix. However they want to do it. They can do it. Like this is why you would make a team up for Superman, so that you can make spinoffs like this, so that you could do things like this. But a lot of people, I don't know. To each his own. I know everybody have their own takes on it. They have their own feelings about it, and they have their own take on it, about the Snyder versus James Gunn universe and how it's going to play out for the next 5 to 10 years, and we're gonna have to see. But from right now, what I can tell you is that I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to see where this direction can go. Big shout out to James Gunn and his new universe with Superman and many more. I'm hearing that they're even working on the Superman 2 already. So this is huge. This is big. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that notification bell, man, so you can be notified on all of the new latest and greatest superhero news out here in these movie streets.